아니 T1 낭떠러지 앞에서 이걸 또 짚고 올라오는데요.
슈퍼 플레이가 회전 초밥처럼 빙글빙글 돌아가면서 나옵니다.
또 한번
그렇지! T1입니다 이번에도!
그 이름값 지켜냈습니다. 맞습니다.
야 진짜 이게 T1이라는 이름이군요!
겐지 경기력 압도적입니다.
라이트 지금 움직임이
스틸 헝그리 아요 겐지
대왕 젠지
나만 T1!
들어가자.
올라가자 돌돌!
We have seen on stages like this many times. Head to head once again, this time the only real difference is this bottom lane for GenG. T1 still the same dominant force from before.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins, they get the final instantly. That's kind of crazy.
They go to MSI. It's crazy.
They'll be our first representatives, and this was, even though it did end with a T1 victory, a very surprising turn of events, right? For GenG, I think it was a lot more cut and dry. They were clearly the better team. Life got the one win, but they weren't really able to stand up in either draft or in overall team fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I feel like, especially for GenG against Life, that's how I feel. It was like almost like 4-0, and T1 series was like, it was really close.
But the GOAT is still in this mid lane, but now he's up against Chovy, who has redefined his playstyle a little bit, gentlemen. Do you feel like Chovy's evolution is going to be enough to take down the GOAT?
I think that Chovy is actually playing a lot more similar than Faker, whereas previously we had a very big gap in these two players, their playstyle, right? Where Faker was very focused on playmaking, and Chovy was much more of a lane-centric 1v1 side lane type player. That isn't really how the current meta shapes up, right? I think picks like the Cassante are a great example, but Faker, most notably on his Gragas, the one who brought it back as well, has not been about getting high resources. It has been about just making the big plays. And he was one of the pivotal turning points in that final game in KT, where they were down a couple of K gold. He was able to find a couple of key catches. And I actually think it's really cool because that has been what Chovy has been trying to do more and more.
And which is that Chovy, I think he really improved himself. That like that was a lack of himself. That like not able to make a play like to the source of style lane, or like not move enough to like when he need to be at exactly where he need to. It's just like he fixed. Like he improved like so much, like where he need to be at the map. Like he also be able to like inform like a top lane, jungle, like even bottom. Like that's why like everyone's be able to carry like from the team, like Peanut, Pace, like Dilla, even Doran, like some game. Like that's why I think the exact reason why GenG got even stronger.
And that brings us to the bottom side matchup, Gumayusi versus Pace. Pace, of course, in his debut year being able to get the most kills in a regular season. Absolutely incredible stat. This guy is, he's amazing, but he's up against Gumayusi, who has, I think, really improved himself.
Yeah, when the clutch really comes down, I think Guma has been incredible throughout like many a tournament now, right? Like last Worlds, he was one of the most consistent factors as well. And it's really such a stark improvement for what we saw last year at him when he was at MSI and he was kind of struggling. I think he's really leveled himself up. And as good as the Lies and Pace have been, it's Guma and Carrier, right? Like this is without a shadow of a doubt the best bot lane that we do have in the LCK. And I do think that GenG haven't really been tested in the bot lane department in their recent series, and that is where I'd expect them to struggle today, because I think that Pace and the Light have performed admirably, but if they can't get these leads, right, if they can't get kills like this, I do think that the team can struggle because they play very heavily towards that bot side.
Yeah, I mean, if I just remember correctly, like from like first game or like second game from a round one, like of the Pace, like he's, you know, like he's just completely different person.